And please just select your one single passage for cleaning and wiping off and whisking off the floor, just like brooming work. That would first remove the dirt. Sélectionnez le mur de un seul passager pour balayer la salette. That means choosing mode 1, this actually covers immediate, mode. That would be developed for whisking off, just like brooming act. You actually, cleanse your floor by removing the grove dirt or, blotches by actually whisking power, and it has, a broomstick. Then you would actually, just whisk away the dirt by putting aside and setting aside. This is slipping work, sweeping, and whisking. I'm not actually being gross. Whisk just like a broomstick, which is a magic broomstick. Broom, you know this, right? B-R-O-O-M. Do I need to spell it? And then you have to actually remove the dirt. La salette, it's really dirt and blotches. And poussière means dust. In these days, we actually suffer microfine dust. Microfine poussière. Micro tiny dust, right? Le poil de l'animal est l'allergène. And also, the hairs are coming from the animals and allergic, materials, right? Think about that. You actually wear the, down gauze, jumper and outer. This has, hairs coming from it. You had a tiny cats that were really cute, but they had a full of dust, hairs and clustered, right? This kind of hair cluster, just like a yarn, would actually normally be around your house. Les poils des animaux, the hairs of animals and allergens up to, 92 square meter. That means 24 mètres carrés. Or in mode 3 passages for nettoyage humide. Then in passage 3, the mode 3 is really simply using, a moisture to wipe off and sweep off floor with a cloth. This is really kind of up to 32 square meter. You understand that this is 33 square meter. The surface would actually be covered at once, So this, you would probably imagine that at one time, if you actually turn on with the mode 3, then this would actually conduct its water cleansing by actually using, moisture to disseminate water and a liquid that would actually wipe up the floor and surface using a cloth, You actually mop up the floor, M-O-P-W-I-P-E, mop off, wipe up the floor with, actually excessive liquid that would actually, remove any type of non-dry dirt. For instance, if you were a little tiny kiki pee-pee, pood, or your dog had a little poops, drop it on the floor, then this would also be wiped up. That type of immense work using a technology that can actually use, dried cleaning or wet cleaning, depending upon it. First, mode 1, we use, a broomstick. It has, which is a broomstick to actually, whisk away and sweep away any type of dirt, even dirt or blotches, or even microfine powder or dirt, right? These type of dry substance can be removed and whisked away by actually suctioning power. That would be so efficiently sucking up all the dirt by actually, swallowing. This machine is really a guzzler. It actually literally swapped off using a suction power. Literally using a vacuuming power that would be so powerful enough to even actually, remove everything on the floor without damaging your beautiful marble floor. If you actually had a micro-jello type of a white marble with excessive amount of money poured in that has been actually imported from Italy, then you don't really want to hurt your floor. Listen, auf dem Boden gar nichts, es gibt keinerlei Verletzung. Haha, diese Stäubsauger wird wirklich hergestellt mit deutscher Technologie, das liegt keinerlei Verletzung oder eine schwer wiegende Narben auf dem Boden. Das gibt eine wahnsinnig gute Schutzprotektion für ihr eigenen Boden und Gründe. Normalerweise durchgeführt bei den sehr hochwertigen Marble und Edelstein, gerade aus Italien zum Beispiel. Das würde voll protegiert werden. Ja, das wäre möglich. And number 2, the passage 2, this is also very important. It has never been actually clarified that, but it's really good to actually remove, animal hairs or allergens. Any type of allergic pathogens that would be actually brought by your clothes or fabrics or textiles or even your animal. Little tiny mignon petit chat, le chat, the cat. These are actually full of clusters. These kind of hairs, depolary hairs can be immediately suctioned up. This vacuuming power would actually, just swallow everything by extracting and holding up and push it underneath the baggage. Then there is nothing on the surface. The whisk away and the brooming and clothing and mopping. Finally, they actually use a humidifier. I don't really understand why there is no specified dimension for mode 2. But you know what? The passage 3 is literally wet cleaning using a mopping. Mopping, you know this, right? Cinderella normally mopped the floor, and she should actually, you know, mop the floor before she actually went to this party, right? Because her stepsisters and her stepmother really wanted to actually, you know, make her imprisoned inside the house. You should mop the floor before you actually make yourself available for this party, right? This kind of order. You mop it because you need to have a, you know, wiping mop that would be drenched with water. This moisture would remove any encrusted dry blotches or any damages or spoils or a mess that have already been encrusted on the floor, stuck on the floor. I mean, any type of sticky stuff that would actually be encrusted on the floor or intensified on the floor, then this would be difficult to remove without any water, right? The moisture can be actually nourished and disseminated to, you know, moisturize the surface. In that way, one can actually easily remove and eliminate any type of blotches or dirt or contamination or adulterated stuff on the floor with no injuries and damage on the floor, right? This can be possible. And this product is just being sold with the 4 different reusable cleaning cloth, right? We actually have, you know, 4 different, you know, cloth looking this way and that way. You know, 4 different cloths. These are perfectly reusable. That means you can actually put all of these in a washing machine and tumble dried it and later reuse it. These are all recyclable. You know, these are all perfectly fitting to serve its own purpose. One for bedroom, one for a bathroom, and the other for kitchen. This, you know, or final one for very sophisticated clothes or even sofa or linen. These had a very purpose-driven reasons why they were actually created. These are all reusable to protect our environment simply by washing and putting inside the washing machine and operate it. This would provide a perfectly cleansed substance to be reused just like a new one. These clothing substances can be reused because this wash clothes as mops are constantly available to be installed inside the gadget or equipment to be reused. Yeah, it's really easy. And this is a microfiber. That means, you know, the textile itself is, you know, connected to each other in a very dense way. The fabrics are, you know, realized through microfiber. Microfiber means, you know, this tiny, almost invisible lines are being part of this connection. This could actually multiply this power of, you know, wiping. If you ever imagine that in Japanese culture there has been an inventor, such a crazy inventor, bozo scientist who just somehow managed this microfiber, which actually has been somehow adapted into our daily cleansing. Because a microfiber is, you know, immediate dense population of the tiny micro lines in the strings. That just actually somehow create a static electricity. This would be great in power. Static electricity, that would be so powerful, just actually just wipe off the floor using its attraction, like magnetize the power to actually take off the dirt from it, because of the, you know, between these 2 textile strings, there would be no surface crater. Because this would be called a microfiber textile technology, just simply using lay down 2 lines, because in between the width itself is too narrow. It would be invisible to our naked eyes. You need to actually put it under a microscope to see it, put it under a microscope to see it. Then this tiny, so densely organized to be compact substance as it compressed to be together and condensed to be together, it creates a static electricity that would just actually rub it on the floor. Then it would actually, you know, immediately magnetize and attract and captivate some tiny particles and molecules on the floor to be erased and cleansed and removed and purified. This type of microfiber technology has been adopted to create 4 different clothes for washing machine, washing, dishing, or washing floor. That means this, Staubsauger. Diese Staubsauger ist immer noch verfügbar für irgendetwas Wasserreinigung. Even Wasserreinigung für den Bodenarbeiter. Auf dem Boden können Sie das nutzen zu reinigen und wischen. Ja, erwischen ist möglich. Normalerweise Maschinenstaubsauger würde viel entfernter von irgendetwas Wasserreinigung und Wasserreinigung. Aber diese Freundlichkeit, das wäre möglich zu reinigen und zu erwischen. Erwischen den Boden, von den Boden irgendetwas stäuben und pulverisierte gemahlen Pulver würde also geradeaus entfernt werden. Das wäre möglich wegen dieser Mikrofasern. Das wäre möglich wegen dieser Mikrofasern, sehr eng verwundete Mikrotextile würde genutzt als eine Pflanzen, geradeaus, als eine Pflanzen, diese wird genutzt. Durch diese Mikrofasertechnologie nutzen eine statische Elektrizität. Dann können Sie, wir schmieren das und kriegen diese statische Elektrizität, dann das wirklich magnetisiert. Irgendetwas Pulver, Pulsier und dreckige Schmutz. Ja, wie eine Metallstücke vor magnetischer Kraft.